my gosh, the news is out. It is official. It's official. Nintendo's gunning for Palworld. It's spreading all over the internet now, even and message boards and everything. Palworld allegedly infringes multiple patent rights. How do you patent a video game? See, I try to explain this to some game designers, tabletop game designers, that people are patenting these things, and they're like, no, 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 you can't patent it. No, it's not possible to patent, but they're patenting these things, man. They don't want to believe me, and I try to tell them, look it up. They're like, no, no, we don't need to look it up. We know what we're talking about. But it's like, then explain this. What is patent infringement lawsuit? What does that mean? That means there's a patent involved here. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Nintendo signs off by saying it will continue to protect the intellectual properties it has worked hard to establish over the years. Let's see. Here it is in full. Nintendo Company Limited at HQ Kyoto, Minamiku, Japan. Representative Director and President Shintaro Furukawa. Nintendo hereafter, together with the Pokemon Company, filed a patent infringement lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court against Pocket Pair Inc. HQ 2102 Higashigoto Tanda, Shinagawa-ku, Tokyo. Defendant hereafter on September 18th, 2024. I didn't know Pocket Pair was in Japan. I thought it was an American company. North American company. This lawsuit seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that Palworld, game development released by the defendant, infringes multiple patent rights. Nintendo will continue to take necessary actions against any infringement of its intellectual property rights, including Nintendo brand itself, to protect the intellectual properties it has worked hard to establish over the years. In a statement in January, the Pokemon Company said it would always take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights. The open-world survival and crafting game Palworld launched earlier this year and proved to be a hit on PC and Xbox, with the title also being made available on Microsoft's subscription service Game Pass. Since then, it has received multiple updates, including adding new pals, new locations, and new pals. Yeah, you see, this commenter says that I want the Pokemon Company to lose so badly. You can't patent and copyright a concept. Exactly. You can't patent or own an idea. That is absolutely correct. You can't do that. You can't. Nintendo's in the wrong if this is where they're going with it, because look how they're phrasing it. They're phrasing it as patent. They say it's a patent infringement. Let's see here. Necessary actions against any infringement of its intellectual property rights, including the brand itself. You gotta really define what the what brand is, because technically speaking, if you're gonna say Pokemon monster capturing collecting game, then you're going down the path of the React Brothers. You cannot claim patent and copyright on an idea. On ideas and concepts, anything that's abstract. Even the United States Patent and Trademark Office makes it very clear that if it's abstract or has already been out in the field, you cannot copyright or patent, or you can't patent, copyright, or trademark anything that's already out there. Patents, anything that's abstract, anything that's conceptual, anything that's an idea, you can't patent, trademark, or copyright it. Now, given that this is now, is this being done in Japan? Because now that comes to the big question. It is filed in the Tokyo District Court. So, Japan laws are very different. It's very different, and this is the mistake I figure that everyone here is going to make. Whatever country they're in from, they're gonna forget that this is Japan laws that's being put into place here. Let me see something. We know nothing of Japan's laws, huh? So let's see. Let's pull up Japan copyright law. Japan copyright law. Okay. We're not doing Wikipedia because people could just write anything. Here we go. Let's see. This is the Copyright Law of Japan, Copyright Research and Information Center, the CRIC, copyright system in Japan. Let's see. Alright, works. The following gives an illustrative example of what is meant on the whole by the term works as it is used in this act. Novels, scenarios, articles, lectures, and other literary works, musical works, works of choreography and pantomime, paintings, woodblock prints, sculptures, other works of fine art, work of architecture, maps and other diagrammic works of academic nature, such as plans, charts, and models, cinematography, photography, works of programming, news reports on current events, and miscellaneous news articles that communicate nothing further than the facts do not fall within the scope of works provided for an item of the preceding paragraph. Protection under this act is for works set forth in paragraph 1, which is those that are listed there. Item 9, IX, does not extend to the programming language, coding conventions, or algorithm used in creative work. U.S. copyright law has a similar thing regarding programming languages. In this case, the meaning of these terms are as prescribed as the following. Programming language means letters and other symbols that are used as a means of expressing the computer program in the system of the use. Coding conventions means special stipulations for the use of programming language provided in preceding in a specific computer program. Algorithm means procedure in a computer program which consists of a set of instructions for a computer. Alright, so here we go. Works not subjected to copyright. This is the big one here. The following works are not subject to the rights provided for in this chapter. The Constitution, other laws and regulations, notifications, instructions, circular notices, and other similar materials is issued by a national or local government agency, an independent administrative agency. Alright, so that's government stuff. Judgments, decisions, orders, and decrees of the courts, as well as rulings and decisions made by administrative agencies in proceeding of a quasi-judicial nature, translations and compilations of the materials listed in the preceding 3 items, which are made by a national or local government agency. Interesting. So government stuff basically can't be copyrighted. Moral rights of authors, but Nintendo's is claiming that it's patents. It's a patent infringement. So let's see here. Let's look. This is the copyrights. This is their copyright system. Yeah, they got a lot of chapters here. So it's just as thorough as here we go. Patent law. Here we go. Excuse me. Here we go. Laws and guidelines. Japan Patent Office. Okay. Guidelines, patent model, examination guidelines, outline, here, guidelines. Yeah, patenting and this is, you think this is crazy? You should see the U.S. Patent, Trademark, and Copyright Office. The copyright is the most easiest. Trademark is hard. That's why they always get. That's why you always get lawyers to do these things. Let's see here. I'm trying to look for what is acceptable and not acceptable. Here we go. Notice of reasons for refusal. Let's see here. Where the examiner intends to render an examiner's decision to the effect that an application is to be refused, the examiner shall notify. It is unfair for the applicant. No, I'm like looking for the non-final. Like I'm trying to find what the reason of refusal could be. First notice. There we go. A notice of reason. Okay, types of the notice of reasons for refusal, notifying only reasons for refusal necessitated by the amendments. Okay, a notice of reasons for refusal, notifying only reasons for refusal necessitated by the amendments to a description made by the applicant in response to a non-final. Example 1, in a case where the statement of the detailed description of the invention becomes obscure or new matters were added to the statement of the detailed description of the invention by amendments, notice of reasons for refusal notified. In a case where new reasons for refusal in terms of lack of novelty, inventive step, should be notified as to examine claims to which new technical matters were added by amendments, or of which technical matters were deleted or limited by amendments. In a case where new reasons for refusal in terms of lack of novelty, inventive step, etc., should be notified due to amendments made to. In a case where amendments adding new matters to the claims cause deficiency in descriptions. In a case where a claim is amended so that it includes any invention which is not the subject of the examination with regard to the requirements other than those described in accordance with Part 4, Chapter 3, changing special technical feature of invention, a notice of reasons for refusal. I would like some cited examples here. Yeah, Japan is extraordinarily. Yeah, because the statement of the claims was too obscure to understand, even if the. So, yeah, they look for things like novelty, inventive step. Let's see. So, the big question is, since Nintendo wants to go there with the patent, is this patent of theirs a novelty? Which is also what you would see in the patent office here in the U.S. They would, you gotta have something novelty, inventive. It's gotta be something unique to it. It can't be something that's already been done. Not only that, but is there a time limit? Because the patents have a shorter time limit. Has a short time limit in terms of how long it can be accessible. Well, for example, copyrights is, if I remember correctly, 75 years. The duration of the copyright for the author, for a registered creator in the copyright here in the U.S. is the life of the creator plus 75 years. So if I were to so let's see, for example, the Impossible Man, I copyrighted then around 2002. So it's already 20 years in. So let's see, when I croak at 100, that would be 80 years that I had control of the copyright, and then for the next 75 years after that, the copyright will still be retained by me post mortem. That would be 150 years. So we're talking 150 years, about 170 years that everybody's got to wait before the Impossible Man go public domain. It's true. Look it up in the U.S. Copyright. It's pretty crazy. But that's about notice of refusal. I'm trying to. Here we go. Specifying claim dimension. This is the one, right? This should be the one. The examiner must first identify and recognize the technical content of the invention the work is referred to as specifying an invention, which serves as the basis of supposition for determination of the requirements of the patentability of the invention. You got that? The examiner specifies the claim inventions based on the claims. The examiner takes the description, drawings, and the common general knowledge at the time of filing into consideration in interpreting the meanings of words in the claims. Meaning word salad, all that legal mumbo jumbo that patents come with. So the examiner's got to interpret all that legal mumbo jumbo that the lawyers write up for the patent and figure out what makes it novelty enough and unique enough to grant the patent. Also, the examiner should carefully read the description, claims, and drawings of the application concerned and sufficiently understand the technical content of the claim invention in this finding. So that's actually insane. When any amendment is made to the description, claims, or drawings, the examiner should sufficiently understand the content of the amendment. That means that's crazy. That's crazy because that means that that Nintendo could come up with any legal mumbo jumbo they want. The examiner will have a very hard time understanding what capturing a monster means. What capturing a monster means. Um, once they'll end up arbitrarily, they could potentially misinterpret or misunderstand what Nintendo means by capturing a monster, and think that it's a novelty enough to say, okay, I'm going to give you the patent for these technical specifications. In this case here, the coding. It's very it's kind of crazy. Um, and what about the tangibility? Doesn't take that into consideration. They don't take that into consideration, do they? The tangibility. Part of the reason patent, from what I understand, patents, you got to have an actual tangible thing, not a coding and such. That's the thing that's always been baffling. But because we game designers, we basically create prototypes and such, and schematics and so on, and it's usually those schematics and such, that you get someone with that kind of money like Nintendo to go in there and say, yeah, we're gonna patent this thing. If I remember correctly, Square Enix Final Fantasy patent. Let's see. Let's see. Why is it saying did not meet expectations? I'm asking for patent. Where is that? Didn't they Wow. Wow, they're suppressing that info, aren't they? um yeah, Final Fantasy patent. Let's try that. And no, I'm not. Patented game mechanics. There we go. GameSpot. Look at that. GameSpot reported this back in 2012, April 4th. A look at the protected inventions behind Mass Effect, Tekken, Final Fantasy, Katamari Damacy, and Pikmin DS. Um, let's see. Gaming has a length of history of knockoffs, dating back to Pong, stretching to the present, days inundation of shameless Me Too mobile. Okay. But patents in games go beyond the periphery and peripherals. Many of them cut right to the heart of some of the most popular successful games to give an idea of what sorts of games features game companies are afraid will be pilfered. We've compiled a selection of 10 strange and striking patents from the United States Patent and Trademark Office, complete with each patent's abstract, which again, art showcasing the idea and theory, and screens of the patented systems and practice, included on an array of features that span the spectrum of importance from core gameplay. So here's the one that here's one of those. Final Fantasy X. Titus didn't look any better than the Final Fantasy X patent. A setting map is displayed in which two kinds of map points relating to character capability setting. Map points for restricting marker position movement, and map points that are irrelevant to the character capability settings are arranged. A marker movement destination is accepted in a movable range corresponding to first points that have been acquired during progress of a game, and the first points are decreased in accordance with the accepted marker movement destination. Movement destination map point and map points adjacent to it are employed during processing subject map points. A category of each processing subject map point is recognized, and it is judged whether second points. You see what I'm talking about? The word mumbo jumbo here. Instead of using the standard Japanese role-playing game mechanic of having characters get better in basically everything whenever they level up, Final Fantasy X gives you more say in how your character develops. To do that, the game introduces the Spirit Grid system, where you place a giant map where each circle you visit grants the characters a specific bonus stat bonus or ability. Every time the character levels up, you can move them to an adjacent and previously unvisited spot to get a boost, or backtrack through a handful of spheres to get close. How about Tekken? How about Tekken? The object of this invention is to provide an image synthesis method, sound synthesis method, game machine, and information storage medium for making it easy to learn a complicated operating sequence from a game controller. This system determines whether an input sequence by which operating buttons are pressed in sequence matches standard sequence that is specified by standard operations. If the input sequence matches, a matching identification symbol lights up when an operating button is pressed. An identification sound that identifies the pressed operating button is output. The player can perceive the operations to be input and the operations that the player has input from these identification symbols and sounds. This makes it easy to acquire special techniques used in fighting game. Outputting identification symbols and sounds in this manner is particularly effective in a training mode. The Tekken series, what it means, yeah, it's let's see here. The Namco patent shown here covers the display of inputs in sequence to the player and the audiovisual cues that let you know you press the button at just the right moment to continue the combo. So if you're wondering why so many fighting games have such terrible tutorials, and some definitely are, the fact that Namco has a patent on a good technique for teaching timing probably isn't helping matters. In other words, what they did was they patent the sound, the audiovisual cue when you successfully do your combo right in training mode. So let me pull up let me find that. Let's go to the USPTO. So yeah, Nintendo. That's how sneaky these guys are, because they Tekken 2. Hey, Shy Guy, welcome. We're looking at patents right now. We're looking at video game patents because Nintendo is suing Palworld for patent infringement, and the funny thing is that I have met people, game designers, who are like yeah, we on this again, because this time the Nintendo filed the motion, so they taking it to the court. So I'm trying to explain here exactly how what it is that they're exactly patenting, and and how they're getting away with it. In this case here with Tekken 2, with Tekken, if you ever wondered why the tutorials suck, it's because they patent the auto mode that helps out teaching players how to play fighting games, and part of that is the audio-visual cues specifically, which is when you can hear that you're actually doing a correct hit and not doing a correct hit. And they own the patent on that, and that's why fighting games don't have any of that. Don't have any of that, which is pretty hilarious. So let me see if I can pull this up here. Let's see, web pages, documents. I'm trying to see if I could find it. Let's see, automotive. They usually use a very specific technical term here. Here, patent center. Maybe this could help me find. Oh, you know what? I could search by company, actually. Let's see. Patent basics overview. Where is the search? Search for patents. All right. How to conduct. 38. Jeez, takes 38 minutes. Oh wait, when I have to. No, I should be able to find it. It's public record. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Heck, look at Final Fantasy X. You ever wonder why the skill trees in many JRPGs look so weird and wonky? That's because the very well designed sphere grid that Final Fantasy, that Square Enix came up with for Final Fantasy X is patented. So you can't do this spherical sphere grid at all for a skill tree. which also includes the ability to move, to remove the sphere grid and move it to another location. Um, it's pretty nefarious. Here we go. Patent public search. It's pretty quite honestly foul. Let's see. Patent or publication number. Let's see. Auto mode. No records found. Yeah, usually these things are a tough one because you need the patent number sometimes. Let's see. Search applicant name. Square. No. Bandai. Just type Bandai. There we go. Type Bandai. Search. There we are. Here's all of. There we go. Game device and storage medium. Let's see. Belted cover for electronic device. Computer game system and control method. Preview that. Maybe the preview here. Oh, that's the taiko drums, right there. For the taiko game, they put the patent out for the drums. There's their patent for the drums. Let's see, storage medium, article management method, physical item, simulation system. Let's see. No, let's see. It's got a game device for wrist, support system, program, game device, program terminal, game device and program. Oh, they got 7 pages of this. How many freaking patents did they make? Jeez, they got over 200? 300. They got 347 patents here. Yo-yo twist, content giving control method. Oh wow, they patented a freaking card game. What card game is this here? Let me pull up the PDF. Okay. United States Patent Application Publication, Information Generation Device, Provision System, and Storage Medium. Bandai Namco Games Inc., Tokyo, Japan. Hiroyuki Nishida is the inventor from Yokohama. The assignee is Namco Bandai Games. The abstract. An information generation device includes an adjustment section that adjusts the selection probability of a game medium that is provided to a second player based on a game status of a first player. Sorry, it's a little bit of the jargon, but apparently this looks like the patent for a gacha. Oh snap! This is a patent for a gacha. Information generation device. Yeah. Determination, communication. This is a gacha. This is the patent for a gacha. Storage, image. Looks that way. Yeah, has lottery image display. Request been issued. Does winning percentage satisfy condition. Generates image information about lottery image that includes image that indicates that rare card selection. This is how they do the patents, everybody. This is what they patent. It's not an actual device, like say a remote control or something, a physical device. It is this little schematic where they go into great detail how something like this works. So let's see. Apparently, it's a gacha. Determines card to be provided. Yeah, this must be some type of gacha style game. You get a yeah. See, it is a gacha. There's the gacha coin. There's the gacha turn. All right, it's gashapon. It says it right there, gashapon. So this is the pan for gashapon, and you get a card for this. Rather than getting the little ball orb, you actually get a card that sticks out, and then you grab it. So yeah, they patent that. This is an official legal patent, and it connects with the mobile phone network. Mind you, this is for mobile phone gaming. So on the gaming screen. So in other words, this is the phone screen. right here. This is all the tactile stuff you press. You press return, you press purchase, collection, game, your gashapon, and you simulate all the movement and everything. So this is how a game pattern looks like, a video game pattern looks like. And they show what it looks like on the screen. Then they show you what the reward looks like. So this is an example of how a game design gets patented when you have a $1 billion company. Don't have a $1 billion company, you're royally screwed. It's insane. It's insane. I'm trying. I was hoping that I would have found Tekken. It would have been nice if GameSpot had offered up the number. Look what else is patented. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The corkscrew. The whole corkscrew. Soul Blade and Soul Calibur, another Namco game, got patented. An object of the present invention is to provide a game device which gives a variety to a fighting game for leading a player to play the game repeatedly and to provide an information storage medium usable in game device. In other words, the objects you attain. You remember Soul Blade on PlayStation, the precursor to Soul Calibur? It had a Master Edge Master mode that put you through a series of challenges for each fighter, earning new weapon variations. Oh, and here's Mass Effect. Remember remember that little skill tree, that little selection thing, circle, the interface where you had to choose your dialogue? Yeah, that's patented. A system and method for creating conversion in computer programs such as a video game. A plurality of classes of dialogue is provided, and a conversation segment is assigned to each class. A graphical interface is displayed during operation of the program that provides a choice indicator, wherein the choice indicator has a plurality of selectable slots, each associated with a dialogue class. The graphical interface. Even Xbox achievements are patented. Even the Xbox achievements are patented. Katamari Damacy patent. Was this another Namco one where the ball collecting all the stuff and sticking to it? That's patented. Namco got the ball rolling with the patent filing. Namco has a crapsack ton of patents I see here. They got Pac-Man versus patented. This was from the Game Boy Advance, right? They had that Game Boy Advance one, Pac-Man versus. Man, and here's Nintendo with Pikmin DS. When a player is controlling the first object with a pointing device and in operation flag, it's just insane that game mechanics are outright patented, man. It's just insane. Like this is a game mechanic. This is game programming being in a patent. So that's the big issue here, and why Nintendo can be able to file, because whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, whatever game mechanism that they programmed into the game that is patented, you know, like the loop, like the corkscrew loop. That's why you don't see so many games do corkscrew loops, because of this. You know what I'm saying? Because of this, Nintendo is taking them right to the courts. If you want my honest opinion, I think that's idiotic that they get away with this. I don't understand why the patent offices, not just in the United States but also in Japan, you know, accept that. You know, how do you? It's not even based on programming. It's based on the methodology. So, and I know where Nintendo's going with this, because in Palworld you do have the Pokeball. You know what I'm saying? That sphere ball. And you throw the sphere ball and a Palmon comes out. You know what I'm saying? And you could throw the spear ball and you catch a pal, and then you watch it and it ticks a couple of times, and then it's a full capture. If Nintendo has that patent, let me see here. Let me pull up. Let me see if I can find Nintendo. Nintendo. Let's search Nintendo here in the U.S. Patent Office. Just Nintendo alone. I can imagine they got 46 freaking pages. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How many of these patents have they stored up? Let's see. The Pokemon. I'm not sure if Pokemon, the Pokemon company, is the one in control of the patent, or Nintendo. Jeez, man. Look, they got the game controller here. What's this game controller? Ah, there you go, guys. Look at there's the Pokeball, the Pokeball patent. Remember, for Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, the little Pokeball. There it is. There's the patent for the device. Game console. There's the DS patent. Wow. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane going on here. Let's see. Game program and game apparatus. What's this one covering? Ah, the bongos for Donkey Konga and on the GameCube. But I'm wondering if we can figure out. Information processing. What will, I'm trying to think of, it's because they use wordiness, a lot of this wordiness. Let's see. What's this game controller for? That's the LR. What? Hold on a second. They seriously patented, let's see, game controller. That's the ZR ZL buttons. Whoa. Just that. Just the buttons alone? This is crazy. Information processing, display control apparatus, eye tracking, enable viewing. Wow, 2,289 records. They got over 2,000 patents, 2,200 patents. Let's see if I could just get to maybe 1996, 1997. How far back do these patents go? Oh, Shigeru Miyamoto, non-transitory storage medium encoded with. He actually, what did he fill in here? What did he file? Let's see. He's credited as the inventor from Kyoto. Non-transitory storage medium encoded with a computer-readable information processing program executable by a computer of an information processing apparatus, causing one or more processes to perform a region display. What year is this? This was 2006. No, this was 2015. Publication classification filed in 2014. Within a virtual space. Virtual camera control module controlling the virtual camera based on the posture of the object set up by the. You know what this looks like? This looks like Star Fox Guard. This whole setup. This looks like the gameplay for Star Fox Guard. Yeah, it's Star Fox Guard. Because you use it through the you would use it through the tablet. The game would be played through the tablet. They are so sneaky because they include all the technical hardware specs in relation to the software specs. Or am I getting this wrong here? Because this looks like a game design in relation to... Yeah. It's very tough to tell because they're very slick with the wordiness, but this is definitely programming. This is all programming. Wow. Virtual camera in relation to the virtual camera. That's crazy. It's crazy. Image processing system. So yeah, I have no doubt in my mind, given what we've been reading. Let's see here. Computer readable storage. Um, they're using terms like that. Computer readable storage, graphical processing watchdog. It's crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Portable video game system. Which one is that? Game Boy. That's the Game Boy Color. Wow. Even the Game Boy Color got patent. Let's see here. Yeah, this doesn't go very far back. Okay. But then that would make sense. Okay. Okay. Patents in the U.S. have do have a time limit. I believe it's 20 years. After 20 years, it goes public domain. That's what happened with the NES. Super Nintendo should have already followed by now. But yeah, the NES patent is gone. Kaputs. This is as far back as they could go. 20 years. It's 2013 now. So eventually, within the coming years, all of this is gonna be released to public domain. But because we're dealing with Japan, the question is, what's how long is Japan's patent? Because it is being filed in Japan. So in a sense, if the patent for throwing a ball to capture a creature was done in the 90s, that patent in the United States is long gone, unless Nintendo found a new novelty way of doing that particular capture and patenting that. Which that Pokeball that we saw, the Pokeball device that they created for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Unless that's the new patent and they're trying to use that, but how actually, if I for me to search in Japan's website, um, how would I do a search? Sitemap. Oh wow. Actually, you know what? Let's make Google our friend here and find out how long is a Japanese patent. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. This is from their site here. Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh, the steps through this is insane. But it's not about how long to get. It takes 18 months. Jeez. And that's even more scarier. It says here Japan has adopted the first to file system. The principle that where two parties apply for a patent for the same invention, the first party to file will be granted a patent. Accordingly, it is advisable to file as soon as possible after the invention. It is also advisable not to make the invention public before filing the patent application. Wow, they operate on that rule. Mm-mm-mm. But what's the lifespan of a patent, of a registered patent? Proceedings. Intellectual Property High Court. Registration published in the Patent Gazette. Let's see here. How long is a Japanese patent active? Let's try active. Registration and maintenance in patent law. Here we go. Patent term. Okay, patent rights in Japan start from patent registration and last for 20 years. This 20-year term is calculated from the filing date, provided regular annuity fees are paid, because you gotta do maintenance. Generally, the 20-year term cannot be adjusted. However, term extensions can be requested for certain patents. For instance, when there is a period of time during which the patented invention could not be worked due to other legal restrictions, the patent term may be extended by up to 5 years. More importantly, patent terms of patents that have been registered late due to JPO delays during prosecution may also be extended. So there we go. In Japan, it's the same length as the United States. You get 20 years exclusivity rights to your patent before it goes public domain. But but in special cases, certain circumstances, you can get an extension on your patent. So the question is, did Nintendo continue extending that patent in Japan? Anything that's related to Pokemon, particularly throwing a ball and capturing a Pokemon monster with it. Because if that's what they patent, they've been extending that since the 90s. That's not since the 90s, because they would have started in the 90s. Let's see. That means that the patent would have ended in the 2010s. 20 years later, yeah, in the 2010s, which means they had to extend it every 5 years. So let's say Pokemon came out in what year? What year did Pokemon come out? We could do Wikipedia on this one here. Pokemon. Here we go. Pokemon Wiki. What was its first year? 1996. Okay, so it was 1996 that it got released, which means that it was most likely in development beforehand. The patent would have to have happened before that. When did production start? There we go. Development of Red and Green started in 1989. So they would have to have Gashapon capsules have been cited as an inspiration for Pokemon, which I'm surprised that Bandai hasn't, and those companies haven't sued Nintendo for that one. Let's see here. So they started doing this in 1989, roughly around 1989. Development for Red and Blue, roughly around 1989. So if they did their patent, like say 1995. Okay, they started around 1994. Let's see, it takes 18 months, right? Because Japan said it'll take upwards of 18 months. So if they would have started around 94, 95, and then they had to do the patent again, register the patent in the United States as well, because that doesn't, because our laws don't cross paths. Let's see. Which was 1996, and then we got it 1998. The patent would have to have happened in roughly around 1994, somewhere in the mid 90s. So the mid 2010s. Let's just say for guesstimate 1995. So 2015, the patent would have to be would be kaput, unless they were able to convince the Japan Patent Office to grant them the 5-year extension. So that means that in 2020 they had to re-register it again. They must have been granted that, and so now they're somewhere in their second extension if they were able to get that extension regarding anything related to Pokemon. But it also depends. But the question is, you see, because they say multiple patent rights. And there's a reason why they say that, because if they are going with the Pokeball capturing thing, if they don't have that patent in Japan anymore, if that went public domain, if that went public domain, then they don't have any standing, any ground to stand on in terms of patent infringement. So there's got to be something else that Palworld did that Nintendo was able to patent in the later games, like say Sword and Shield or Violet. You know, what I'm saying any of the previous generations within the last 10 years that they released. If Palworld, if Pocket Pair, and Palworld copied any of that stuff, and that stuff is patented, yeah, they're gonna be screwed. They're gonna get screwed out of this, big time. So, wow. So yeah, yeah, that's what these companies do, man. That's what these companies do. Let me. Just for the fun of it, I want to see how Sega did the. Let me see Sega. Let me pull up Sega. Now I wanna see. Uh, I wanna see how many did they register here. They registered 174 records. Oh wait, but then again, the Spiral would be. No, the Spiral would be public domain by now. Yeah, the Spiral would be public domain at this point. Mm, yeah, yeah, it would be public domain at this point. Figure 17, the patent on Sonic's corkscrew loops should expire soon. And then there'll be nothing to stop the copycats. That's, yeah, this article is correct. At the time, 2012, Sonic came out in the early 90s. What, Sonic, like around, what, 92, 93? So, yeah, that thing is long expired. It's public domain. We're not going to find that. But I'm very surprised, though, that Sega is still registering patents. They're still registering patents. Trade and reserve game content. There we go. What are we talking about here? What do you mean by game content, Sega? It is an object of the present invention to allow reserved content to be used at the proper timing. Information processing device of the present invention comprises a trade information storage unit that stores trade information for each user in which trade away content and trade for content set in association with each other. A user information storage unit that stores user information which a user's process users possessed content and reserved content are set. A selection unit that selects reserved content that is the same as the designated trading content is not the same content, not the same as the possessed content from among the user's reserved content based in the user information as a result of an operation performed by the user to designate trade for content that the user wants to acquire in a trade, and a notification unit that notifies the user that the selected reserved content can be acquired without a trade. um, Oh my gosh, that reminds me of those of the civic servants in the Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister, this BBC show. If you listen to how they talk, it's like, oh my gosh, this is definitely made by civic servants here. client terminal, client terminal server device, CPU input device, RAM. Are they? What the heck is going on here? It's just insane. And the slick part is that they're using the hardware, how the hardware interacts as a means of achieving this patent from what I see. Because these are hardware these look like hardware specs here. Server storage unit and server control. That's physical. And then somehow they link it to the programming. So the programming and the hardware go hand in hand, thus enabling, you see, trade setting screen. You hit the start button, trade settings screen, receive designation of trade away character, and they related it to the controller. They related it to the hardware. They are very, very slick. That's how they get in the patents. That's how they get in the patents. They can't just give programming code. Clearly, they can't give programming code. That would be considered more of a copyright thing. But even then, the copyright offices got very rigid rules regarding that. No, they're relating it to hardware, the computer program to the hardware, This is how the program works the hardware. And therefore, because you need these specific sets of hardware in order to operate it, that makes it very unique and patentable. That's what I'm guessing here, from what I can interpret, what I'm seeing here. This is some crazy stuff here. Trade setting information. What game is this that is going on? Possessed characters. Possessed upper limit. This is Persona. This is either Shin Megami Tensei or Persona. Oh my gosh, this is the patent for Persona. Or Shin Megami Tensei. One of the two. Character possession. Whoa. So this is game progression unit, acquisition unit, guidance unit. What did this explain here? It is an object of the present invention. The information processing device of the present invention comprises a trait information storage unit. So basically, it looks like they patent the storage user interface, the storage game mechanic in either a Persona game or a Shin Megami Tensei game or equivalent to that game, or in this case here, whichever one of those types of games they want to put it in. This entire game mechanic, and you could be able to trade between characters. 2 claims, 13 drawing sheets. Yeah, see, there it is right here. Possessed characters, possessed number, upper limit number, reserved characters, possessed points, coins. So basically, this is the interface. Notification screen, character X, and then you would say yes or no, and you'll receive the character. So this is how you trade a character in a game for a game like Persona. Any type of game that's collecting. I know Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, you get characters. Shin Megami Tensei, if I remember correctly. And this is how you and if it's got a trading system, this is what's patented. This is patented. This was when was this filed? Takehiro Oromo, Kabushiki Kaisha Sega, Games Doing Business at Sega Company Games Company Limited. This could be another one of those apps too. Foreign patent documents. Looks like filed 2022. This was filed in 2022. Foreign application priority data. So they got this from the Japan patent as well in 2017. Looks like that's how they did that. Whoa. So as of 2022 in the United States, August 1st, this patent will not go public domain until 2042. August 1st. Until August 1st, 2042, which means they could do whatever they want with this storage system, this particular and specific storage system, however they want. Yeah. Just like Shy Guy said on the kick side, that's wild. Client terminal, server device, CPU. Yeah. But it looks like that they are using how the programming interacts with the hardware as the justification for making the patent, because it's using an actual tangible thing. Dang. Wow. Yeah, see, this is yeah, okay, and this is how the game's process gameplay works. You hit the start button, you go to the trade settings screen, receive designation of trade away character, receive designation of trade for character, select the reserved character that is same as trade for character. If no, was reserved character successfully selected? If no, then the trade setting processing. If yes, then you select the possessed character that is same as reserved character. Possessed character successfully selected? Yes, you go to the process. If it's no, then it's notification processing. Acquire reserved character? No, you go to trade processing. Yes, you go to guidance processing, then acquisition processing, and then end. So this whole entire game mechanic is patented in this exact precise way. So if anybody does creates a game and do this precise setup exactly like this for their game in terms of trading characters within their video game, Sega can sue them. Sega can sue them. Look at this. They even include rarity. This is figure. This is a diagram. A sample drawing. Oh my gosh, the Copyright Office would not accept this as copyrightable. I'm surprised the patents accepted this imagery, this type of imagery, as acceptable for patent. Attack defense. You see, you get the name of the character. This is what their chart will look like. How many coins it will cost to get the character. You'll see that it's got a 10 attack, 10 defense, hit point 10. This is considered abstract in design in the eyes of the Copyright Office. I'm very surprised that patent allows something like that. And then after you finish getting all your stuff, this is what the screen will present to you. Just like Bandai's Gashapon video game. You get the character X, the notification, and then you hit yes or no if you want to receive the character. Wow. So yeah, this is a full on. This is what a game mechanic patent looks like. And then this is another one here. Browsing options. Yeah, it's another. I guess this is for receiving a character. Yeah, receiving from browsing operation. That's DLC. Or if you got like a reward from Sega's servers itself. This is how the whole process, and this is all patented. Like if you get bonuses from Sega for accomplishing certain things instead of a trade from a player. This is how the step-by-step process works in the video game, and that's all patented also. You can't copy it exactly like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo yeah, none of this surprises me. Because I've always known about this kind of stuff. Starting with that active time battle system being patented, and even tapping in Magic the Gathering was supposed to have been patented. And they were patenting the whole concept of the trading card game. But it should have been gone by now. It's been 20 years for Magic the Gathering. Trade invitation screen. So this is patented also. You can't make your trade invitation screen like this. And they're using, and they're slick too, because look what they're using. They're using the term invitation. So it makes it sound completely different from what all the others have been doing, like Pokemon, because you're inviting a character. So they're playing. It's the wordplay. It's the wordplay. They call it the trade invitation screen and the trade invitation system, huh? Because look at what they're doing here. You get the evolutionary fusion screen, which is in Pokemon. When you trade a character, their Pokemon, when they're traded, they evolve. And here's Sega doing this. But because they're using a whole completely different method from the way Nintendo's doing it, they get the patent on it. Including the naming of the naming convention, trade invitation screen. So Nintendo goes in there, they'll be like, oh, you're patenting our thing. No, it's called the trade invitation screen. You see, you start the evolutionary process. You do what is called evolutionary fusion. And that happens before the trade happens, as opposed to your game where the evolution happens after. And not only that, but you don't fuse your characters together. You see how slick this is? This is slick. This is slick. You see, and then here it is. It says a character X has missing fusion resource because it's the wordplay. It's all about the wordplay. Evolutionary fusion process, and you could do it through a trade. That's how Nintendo will not be able, couldn't beat this patent. Couldn't beat the patent. They couldn't challenge this patent because Sega did it completely different from the way Nintendo does it. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. So, yeah, with regards to Palworld, it depends on what Nintendo still has patent standing. Especially with every new iteration of Pokemon, they're always patenting something in Pokemon. Shoot. The food mechanic that was introduced in the 2000s. When was the when did that Pokemon what do they call that, the Poke food, the Pokemon food, Pokemon food in game. What the heck did they call that stupid thing again? Berries. Yes, the Poffins. That's it, the Poffins. When did the Poffins happen? That's it, making Poffins, which is what you feed to Pokemon. When was that started? What game did that make the first appearance? Diamond and Pearl. When was Diamond and Pearl out? 2007. It was released in Japan 2006. You create food and feed the Pokemon. Now, if they patent that, if Nintendo patent that both in Japan and in the U.S., let's see, September 2006, they would have to have done the patent around 2000. If they did it in 2005 or 2006, we're in 2024 right now. They could use that against Palworld, because in Palworld you can create food to feed your Palmon. Again, I'm just speculating here, but given that the Japan patent office makes it clear that it's a 20-year limit with a 5-year extension for circumstances. If that's what what Nintendo means by multiple patent infringements, and this is one of them, they're still within the year. And here in the United States, that would be, let's see, 2006. So that would be 2 more years. So they still have the right to their patent for at least 1 more year before it goes public domain. Whatever methodology they've been using. But then this also leads to the next big question. Have they been extending the patents with each creation of Pokemon? Because keep in mind, each generation comes out rapid fire. Has been coming out very rapid fire, like every generation. Every generation of Nintendo consoles, there was always a new Pokemon game. Have they been patenting that within the context of the hardware, interaction of the hardware? Like I've shown with Sega here, with the interaction of the hardware, like they do here, like Bandai and Sega has done. Where's Sega? Here's Sega. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. Where's Sega's patent? Here it is. Yeah, because remember, Sega is saying that the programming interacts with the hardware, the CPU, the RAM. They explain how the programming interacts and communicates with this, thus making it very different and novelty. If they've been doing that with every iteration of Pokemon being put on a different console, which has completely and totally different hardware from each other, because they've been using different architectures with the DS, the 3DS, the Switch, with the Switch, and they've been patenting like that. Yeah, Palworld is royally screwed. Because this is the key feature. This is the key feature of these patents. How they communicate, how the programming communicates with the hardware. This has been it's been very consistent with the patents that I've seen. Here's where's the gacha one? See, here's the gacha. Here's the gacha one. They talk about how the internet, how it interacts with the internet. They show how it interacts with the internet, how the data communicates. They show the operation, the display, the storage. Yeah, yeah, and then here it is. They show you the hardware, how can with the network and the information generation device, that being the phone. If that's the trick, yeah, yeah. See, that's very consistent. That's how they're able to do it. And this is a full blown game. This is not just a piece of a game. This is a full blown game they've patented. Bandai. You cannot duplicate this precisely. And same goes with this one here. You can't duplicate this monster fusion. So if you try to create a game where you could trade two monsters and fuse them together pre-trade, Sega can sue you for that because they patent that, where you could fuse two creatures together and trade them off. Hot dang. Nintendo could walk away with this big time. That's why they're using the term multiple patent rights. Not just one specific patent. They got multiple. And given... Yep. Ooh, man. Slick. Wow. I hope y'all. I hope that was educational. I hope that was educational for all of you. That was actually an amazing deep dive. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Comment, like, subscribe, follow. You know you want to. And head on over to Amazon.com and grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man Strange Fantasy novel written by me. You'll find a copy of the book down in the description below, along with links to other merch, such as pins, stickers, t-shirts, music. Thank you thank you for buying the products and your patronage. Enjoy the products. Thank you for patronage. Yeah, this was a very interesting deep dive. And if you're interested, you can join me on my live multi-stream on Kick and Twitch every Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, there we go. Until the next deep dive, whatever this was, this whole segment, let's talk segment. Thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.